This video is about one of the most iconic video game series of our generation. Revolutionary in the world of fighting games, in 1999, Nintendo released Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. Produced by HAL Laboratories under the direction of programmer and visionary Masahiro Sakurai, Super Smash Bros. Was a game that would quickly become one of the most popular titles in the world. But where did it all begin?
No matter how they toss the dice, it had to be the only one for me is you.
In 1998, a man who would eventually become president of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, was a co-worker of Sakurai's at HAL Laboratories. He had the idea for a game that would utilize the N64's analog stick in a way that hadn't really been done before. You see, up until this point, virtually every fighting game utilized digital input, meaning that instead of having 360 degrees of motion like many of you are used to in pretty much every modern game on the market, you had gates that limited your inputs to a certain number of angles. Typically it would be left, right, up, down, and one more angle between each of those. Iwata had the idea to make a game that wouldn't be restricted by set angles, set speeds, or set inputs. An organic, analog fighting game. Super Smash Bros. Was unique in the world of fighting games. While traditional fighters used a health bar system to determine a winner, Smash utilizes physics to launch characters with upscaling knockback. The more damage a player takes, the farther they're launched. If a player is knocked out of the stage, they lose a stock, and if they lose all their stocks, well, they lose the match. The game was intuitive, easy to pick up, and fun pretty much from the get-go. There was no need to memorize set button combinations like in Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. Players could just grab the controller and find success whatever way they could. Iwata approached Sakurai with the idea for this analog physics-based fighter, and the two took it on as a side project, working nights and weekends to make their vision a reality. The result was a prototype which they called Dragon King: The Fighting Game. No video gameplay exists, and all we have to go on are first-hand accounts and a few screenshots to prove that the game actually exists. But what we do have is a proof of concept. Dragon King would lay the foundational groundwork for Sakurai and Iwata's next big project. A lighter, more publicly accessible game was Smash's main goal. A fighting game for the casual gamer, who maybe wasn't comfortable in cramped gaming arcades going up against competitive Street Fighter players as they gathered around the cabinets. Attracting a more casual audience was one of the motivating forces behind incorporating beloved Nintendo characters into the cast. When Sakurai and Iwata approached Nintendo with the idea in 1998, the game was quickly given the go-ahead. Which is good, because Sakurai and Iwata had already incorporated many of Nintendo's licensed characters into the game before actually getting permission to do so. The game featured 12 notable Nintendo characters, like Mario, Donkey Kong, and Pikachu, along with recognizable items and stages from several Nintendo titles. The project was greenlit, and with Nintendo's backing, Sakurai was made the project director to execute his idea. And the results were immense. Upon its domestic Japanese release in 1999, Super Smash Bros. Became so popular that just 3 months later it would be released in North America to critical acclaim, selling just under 2 million copies in Japan and 3 million copies in North America. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to help support and grow our channel, and leave a comment below with thoughts or opinions or what kind of stuff you'd like to see covered in our next video. My name's Jonah, and I'll see you next time.